Welcome to Art Appreciation. I'm Jason Lancaster. I'll be your instructor this semester. You're going to be seeing a lot of videos taken from exactly this perspective. None of them are very good. Sorry. It's kind of the situation we're stuck with at the moment. We're going to do three things in this video. One, I'll give you some brief information about me. I'll talk to you guys for a minute just about pacing yourself and working through the course. And then I'll walk you through a little bit of Blackboard. I'm trying to keep this as quick as possible, and you'll find out very soon that that is not something that I'm good at. Introduction, one. Again, Jason Lancaster. I've lived in Winston-Salem for about 10 years now. Moved around a little bit, North Carolina and Virginia, kind of back and forth. Originally from Mount Olive, which is where they make Mount Olive pickles and meat. That's about all that's going on there. My parents had a welding and metal fabrication business. I worked there for them for a little while, did some welding and metal fabrication. I drove a route truck for their business. Since then, I've been a personal trainer, graphic designer, and I've taught at almost every institution in this region at some point in the past 10 years. Bills got to be paid, guys. Over here to my right, this little Phoebster. That's my dog Phoebe, who's completely ignoring me at the moment. She's normally very friendly. Anyway, pacing yourself through the course. This is 15 weeks worth of content and 7.5 weeks of time. There's a lot of information, a lot of work to be done in a very short period. Be prepared to spend at least 3 or 4 hours a week dedicated to this class. It's a lot. I understand that. That's just the nature of these summer sessions. It's a lot of information to get through in a short period of time. It's not ideal, but again, that's where we're at. If you feel like you're not getting everything you need from the course information, if you're still struggling with the assignments, let me know, and I'll see if I can't figure out some way to make this a little bit more amenable to you. If you want to meet with me at some point, we can do that online. I'm not going to be spending much, if any, time on campus over the summer. But just let me know and we'll figure something out. I want everybody to be successful in this course. I do. Now, when you first log on to Blackboard, this is going to be the screen that you see. This is the announcements page. If there's any updated information, anything that's really, really pressing or important, then you're going to find that information here under the announcements page, which is also this particular tab. A lot of times I'll have course links at the bottom, which will take you to specific assignments or bits of information. That's information that you can also access under the assignments tab. I'll show you that in just a minute too. We'll just walk through all of these tabs very quickly. So my information is here. This is how you get in touch with me right there. That's my email address. That is going to be my primary means of contact. The phone number that you see here is my office phone. And again, I'm not going to be using that probably ever over the summer. So just email me if you need something from me and we'll figure it out from there. So there's a good picture of me. Course syllabus. Now at the top of this is a printer-friendly version of this. I would strongly recommend printing at least part of that out. I'll show you that again in a second too. All right, so again, same contact information. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but I do want you guys to be very familiar with what's in the syllabus. That's information that you're responsible for. You don't have to have it memorized, but at least be familiar with it in some way, shape, or form. It's very straightforward for the most part. Information that you might be particularly interested in, this section here under the assignment submission, which I explain, processes and procedures for the quizzes and for the writing assignments and discussion boards. Extra credit's going to be a big topic this semester. There's one whole module of extra credit, but there are also smaller assignments kind of spread throughout. I'll show you that too in just a minute. One of these things that you see might get you a lot of attention here is both bold and in red. I will not accept late work. Read all the information surrounding that. I'm not militant about that, but if you don't let me know what's going on, if you miss an assignment, if you're falling behind, if for some reason you're just not able to access it, just let me know. Be in contact with me. A lack of communication in this day and age is not an excuse. So let me know. Again, read all this stuff. Attendance policy, not going to be much of an issue for us as long as everybody completes the course entry assignment, which will be due on June 1st, Monday. That's a quick turnaround. So I would recommend doing that as soon as possible. Don't put it off. It's a quick discussion board assignment. A lot of you have already done that, and that is fantastic. Now, below this is the first week of information, and I'm going to have these in pairs of modules. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute as well. Most of the assignments that you're going to see here are going to be in blue. Those are the mandatory assignments. Some of the assignments you see here will be in violet, and that violet color means that that's an extra credit assignment. You can do that if you would like to, and I would love to see you guys doing a lot of these extra credit assignments. The quizzes that I've posted here are, they're not easy, I'll say that. I don't think they're terribly difficult, but they're not easy. Underneath this is the Forsyth Tech course policies and procedures. That's just policies as they apply to every course throughout Forsyth Tech's catalog. Then up here again, the printer-friendly version of this, that same information that's here, you'll find here, but doesn't that look a lot better? You can print this off. It's a Word document, and this should be, this final course schedule should be, you know, just one page. That I strongly recommend printing that off, or at least having some version of that available for you to find later. The assignments tab is where you're going to be spending the vast majority of your time throughout the semester. And of course, the very top, course entry assignment. Be sure you've done that again. June 1st, before midnight on June 1st. If you don't do that, I have no choice but to drop you from the class. It's not a decision that I have any control over. It's just how things have to be done. The first module is very brief. That is misleading because all the other modules are much, much, much more dense with information. This is just an introduction, and I'm trying to give you guys a bit of a grace period to introduce yourself to the course and get back in the, I don't know, spirit of school. Is that even a thing? Module 2 is a bit more of an accurate representation of the amount of work that you'll be doing throughout these modules. I'd recommend looking ahead when you know that you've got a week of work to do. Check both modules. Just be prepared. Make sure that you can arrange to have enough time available to get through the course information. At the beginning of every one of these modules, at least most of them, you're going to find these PowerPoint presentations. These are, you don't have to do anything with these specifically, but again, I would recommend printing these off because when you get down here to these videos, these are basically just lecture videos that I'm posting. I'm going to just be walking through these exact same presentations that you see here. So having these printed off gives you the opportunity to make notes on exactly the things that I'll be discussing here. And there are ways that in Word that you can print this off as a handout with 3 or 6 or 9 of the slides on one page. You don't really have to be able to make out the details on the printouts as long as you know, as long as you can tell enough information about what it is that I'm discussing. Now, under these videos, I might have some information written out. The most important part of that will be these key terms. There's a few key terms here. Some have a lot more key terms. What I would suggest you guys doing, and this is very important, take notes on the videos. When you get to one of these key terms, I would write down the information, and this is probably going to be helpful later, write down like the minute mark that you actually encounter these particular specific terms. So the woman from Willendorf, when you see that, write down the information about that and write, say, 3 minutes and 30 seconds or wherever that's at. So when you have to refer back to that video after taking the quiz for the first time, you can find that information, adjust your notes, and then for that second attempt, it's going to make that a lot more easy for you to get through successfully. So again, rolling through here. All right, more key terms, more lecture videos. And I love videos. YouTube videos are a huge part of what you're going to be doing, or at least watching them, not making them, throughout the semester. And then we get to the bottom, and that's where you're going to find the assignments. This one has 3 assignments, one very short discussion board. There is information that's valuable in that video in addition to the discussion board. So again, I would definitely take notes on that. Complete the assignment. This one's only worth 10 points. I try to have as much information about these assignments as I can post so that you'll know what to prepare for. For example, this one, multiple choice quiz, if based on module 2, and this goes up to Greek cultures. You'll see there's a separate section here for the Roman Empire, since I feel like there's a lot more information on the Roman Empire than there is in the other little sections. So I just made that a separate assignment altogether. There are your due dates. There's your time limits, and this one's worth 74 points, this one's worth 36 points, and this one's worth 10 points. So for this whole module, you get, what was that, 120 points. The modules, based on how much time you spend on them and how many assignments are there, they're going to be worth slightly different amounts, but not in hugely varying degrees. So let's go down here to say this module. Again, you've got your presentations at the top. Strongly, again, print those off, take notes. You'll see videos, a lot more key terms here. Most of the time, if there's something specific, if there's an artwork that has a title, that title will be in italics. That's why there's a difference in fonts there. Let's scroll down to the bottom of this and show you guys what some of those extra credit assignments look like. Again, that one's in blue, mandatory, mandatory. You'll see the deadlines on these are at the very end of that module, just like we were looking at here. The last date that you see here, that's the deadline. Midnight, 11:59 p.m. on that date will be the final date to complete all of these assignments. This 14th will be the final date to complete all of these assignments except for the extra credit. The extra credit assignments will be available the entire semester. So if you get to the end of the semester and you realize that your average is a little bit below where you want it to be, you still have the opportunity to go back, learn some more stuff about artists and movements and take a few quizzes on those, build up some extra credit. If you can do that consistently throughout the semester and just build up some insurance. There's enough extra credit there for you to pretty much make whatever grade that you want to, but you have to have the time and energy available to do so. These two extra credit assignments, this one's worth 15 points, that one's worth 15 points. You only get one attempt for the extra credit assignments. So just make a note of that. That's everything I can think of other than the grade book. I'll just scroll through this right quick. So module 15 is technically it's the final module of the course that has any real grade value to you. These two modules at the end are left over. I'm leaving them up here just in case you're curious and just want to look at the extra information. Now, when it comes to the Grade Center, my Grade Center looks very different than your Grade Center. This is my student preview mode. The version of the Grade Center I see is usually very different than this. So there might be something that looks a little bit screwy in your Grade Center and it might be confusing. Just ask me about that. There's a very good possibility that I have no idea what it is that you're experiencing, but I can figure out what's going on. Yeah, don't hesitate to let me know about grades, or if there's something wrong with the modules, or if there's something that you think is missing. Yeah, just let me know. Email me. Be sure to look through the syllabus first. A lot of the questions that you guys might have might be answered there. But gee, for the sake of conciseness, I'm going to wrap it up right there.